Hi, this is Stephen Vincent, and I'm here with Bonnie Brokaw, who's the meetup organizer for Riverside, California. And she's someone who's been important in the Ron Paul revolution on a national level in a number of different projects for quite a while now. And she's also now part of our Operation Call4Paul team. Bonnie, why don't you tell us, how did you first hear about Operation Call4Paul?
I learned about it through an email, actually, and I thought the minute I read it, I was excited about it. It sounded like an excellent way to reach the maximum amount of people for Ron Paul. Time is of the essence, as you know. I'm really happy to be associated with it. I think it's the number one best way to reach the greatest number of people for Ron Paul in the fastest way possible.
Because I called you and I said, we're starting to call Iowa and we're generating all of this great data. I mean, on a call-by-call basis, we're generating all of this data on Ron Paul supporters or people that could become Ron Paul supporters and Ron Paul voters.
Yes. My good friend Troy Reha was working for the campaign. He's a Ron Paul supporter, and he lives in Des Moines, Iowa, and he came on board to work with the staff. I had met him through the Ames straw poll. It was really funny after you both started working together, and I would talk to Troy periodically. He would say, Bonnie, this system is solid gold. Solid gold. That is what's coming out of California right now through this Call4Paul system. It is solid gold. He said that the information that was coming through was accurate. They were able to use that to reach out to Iowa voters. So it's just the system is good on so many levels. I would like to see call centers just like the one you have, Stephen, set up throughout the country to eventually evolve into a grassroots campaign headquarters.
I have to tell you, Bonnie, I mean, my jaw was dropping open as I took call after call after call after call of Iowans who had pressed 1 to speak with a live Ron Paul volunteer supporter.
Yes.
I hadn't, and I really honestly had not anticipated that level of response.
Yes.
I mean, I'm telling you, literally call after call after call, and we were cranking out the sheets. And we do enter this into a database so that it can be archived for later use. But we bypassed the database entry and went straight to faxing the sheets straight to Iowa because they were coming in too fast for us to do the entry and get them to them in a speedy fashion. And it was both a testament to the support for Ron Paul's message that's out there and also to the effectiveness of the program. Truth be told, I mean, this was completely on the run. We were throwing this program together, really. This is honest and true. I mean, we were throwing this together on the run, and and making adjustments as we went, and basically in the course of the Iowa experience, we systematized Operation Call4Paul, and I'd say we have it pretty well down to a solid system at this point. And,
very much so.
Yeah, and we are totally ready to roll it out on the entire nation. Now, we've been calling Nevada with great success, and we're looking forward to a major campaign that we're launching to call all of South Carolina and then also Florida are in our sights right now. So we need call centers set up immediately because the kind of volume that we're talking about for South Carolina and Florida is much greater than what we did for Iowa. So we need the help. We need people to set up call centers so that they can handle all of those people that are choosing to speak with a Ron Paul volunteer supporter by pressing star on their telephone. With regards to setting up a call center, the first thing people might look for is a home of a supporter that could act as a call center because all you would need to do is pull in 6-8 lines into that home and set them up with the phone company so that they roll over from one line to another.
True.
Because that's an important feature. You need to have rollover lines so that when one call comes in, if the line is busy, it bumps over to the next line. And so they
Right.
could do that in your home. Just pull in 6-8 lines, and then from 5 to 9 p.m. be your call center. You've got the additional option of finding a commercial property, or maybe, like in our case, we had a Ron Paul supporter who had an office space that was available for us to use, so we lucked out with that, and that may be
Yes.
a way that other people can go too. Let me go ahead and recap how the program actually works for people. We record a voice message about Congressman Paul. And what the voice broadcasting technology does is sends out that message to thousands and maybe as many as hundreds of thousands of phones simultaneously.
Right.
When the call is either is answered by a recipient of the call, they hear the message and they hear that they have the option to press the star key on their telephone to be connected with a live Ron Paul volunteer supporter, or they have the option of pressing 9 to be removed from the list. And this does a lot of things. It's such a labor-saving method because immediately it eliminates all the people that just don't want to be talked to. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You didn't waste your time
Right.
calling them. All the bad numbers. You didn't waste your
Right.
time calling those. All the fax numbers. You didn't waste your time calling those.
Right.
Right. It cuts out all the junk, and the only thing that you get.
And the time consumption going after calling calls that are not going to produce votes or delegates.
Exactly. And the only thing you get are people that are interested. They chose to speak with us.
Right.
And your volunteers' time is not wasted, and their energy is not drained. Their energy stays up because they're getting call after call after call from
It's
people that
positive.
that is
Yes.
positive. They want to be talked to. This is highly time efficient and cost effective. And I just don't know another way of covering this much territory as fast as we are able to cover it using Operation Call4Paul.
It's very exciting, Stephen, from a volunteer standpoint, like you and I are, because we know that time is of the essence, like I said, and all of us have jobs and lives and other things we're trying to do as well. We want to make every second count. It's also very cost effective.
Well, I would say at 2 cents per contacted voter. Now, that's not 2 cents per dial. That's 2 cents per contacted voter. I don't see how you can really beat that. A contact is someone picks up the telephone and listens to the message. Someone picks up the telephone, listens to the message, and presses the star key on their phone to speak with somebody. Or someone receives a voicemail message in their mailbox, and
right.
And that those are all contacts. Those are all people that now they've heard a message about Congressman Paul. And we actually started with our Nevada program. We put the local Nevada contact number on the voicemail message, and they said they have been getting quite a response from the voicemail messages as well, in addition to the contacts that we're getting at our call center. Now, another thing that we could talk about here is beyond the immediate effectiveness of contacting voters and supporters for Ron Paul, there's also the future development of the Ron Paul movement. And what we're doing in the process of doing here is actually collecting a database of people that are Ron Paul supporters, Ron Paul voters, sympathetic to Ron Paul, or at least curious and interested in Ron Paul. And through this process, we're developing that for future use. Now, what those future uses might be, it all depends on how things unfold, but it certainly puts us in a position of power that we now know in many states quite a number of people that are very supportive of Ron Paul, and we can call upon them for, the future.
You have this access on this call center intake form for incredible workforce right there, and also potential members for meetup groups. So it's good on so many different levels. I can't think of a negative.